Thank you. Well, a Step Ahead Foundation works to improve the educational, economic, and health outcomes for women in Memphis and Shelby County. And joining us today to talk about that is the Executive Director, Nikki Gibbs. Welcome. So good to have you with us today.
Thank you for having me, Kim.
Well, first of all, your website says your mission is to empower women in our community with the resources and knowledge they need to plan their lives, futures, and babies. How do you do all that?
Kim, I couldn't have said it any better. There are three things that we do extremely well.
Okay.
We provide access to long-acting reversible birth control, free health education sessions in the community, and drum roll, scholarships.
Nice.
So we give out scholarships to young women in the community. So this isn't just about birth control.
Right.
This is about helping women to reach their life goals by planning lives, their futures, and their babies. And we want to be a part of that journey every step of the way that we can.
Right, and that's why education is such a big part of the work you do.
Yes, ma'am. The education piece is the cornerstone of what we do. That's really our foundational piece. So what that looks like is we're not doing the same outreach piece to everyone. So let's say it's teens from 13 to 18. That's a teen talk.
Right.
We're talking to young girls and boys, young men and young women, about, we do a 5-week session. I think one is planning. That's at the center of everything that we do.
Okay.
What are your goals? How do you get there? And then how we tie in the birth control conversation. What are some of the things that can derail you from reaching your goals? Not stop you, but maybe put a pause on it. And we have one on self-esteem.
Okay.
One on consent. Then reproductive system.
Right.
How does your body work?
Right.
And then we have one on unapologetically the birth control methods.
All right, wonderful.
So that's kind of how it looks, but if it's an adult, we do community talks.
Okay.
And that may be budgeting, that the birth control added, but whatever else they needed in that space. And then we go over the basics, because what we think everybody knows, they don't.
Right. Right, that's what I was just sitting here thinking. A lot of people, you think they would know these things, but sometimes they're not taught that. You have to be taught things.
Absolutely, and I didn't know it. Some things I only learned when I was in this space. So we don't assume that people come with the knowledge. We meet them where they are.
Right.
And make sure that we're doing it on a level that makes people feel good about what they're learning, and then makes them want to share what they learn.
Hello, that's important. First, do you have any examples of successes that you can talk about from the work that you've done? Or?
Well, I'll say now, you know, when it comes to access to birth control, women need it now more than ever. The success that we have achieved over this 14 years, going into 15, is we've been able to serve 8,500 women with access.
That's wonderful.
We pay upwards of $40,000 a month just for those clinical services. So to make sure that women still have access to be able to plan on their terms, that's what we do. So I think that's a success in itself, because when mama's happy, guess what, Kim?
Everybody's happy.
Everybody's happy.
That's right, that's right. Now, earlier this month you had a hygiene drive.
Yes.
Explain what that was and how it went.
So, you know, everybody says we're the birth control people. No, we're not. We're so much more than birth control.
Right.
And so when we see a real life need in the community, that's a part of our job to make sure we can reach it. Kim, we start getting churches calling, schools, community partners. In addition to the health services and the sessions, they were asking for hygiene products.
Right.
Nobody can listen to what we're saying if your basic needs aren't met.
Hello.
And it became so overwhelming, Kim, we said we need to do something.
We're talking about deodorant, feminine hygiene
tissue,
products,
feminine hygiene products, all of it. And I said, we don't want to be a one-time fix. I don't want to say no. If we have the capacity and we have a giving community like Memphis who looks for opportunities, I don't want to waste it. So we said, let's make it bigger. Let's go big or go home. And we did a wonderful job, Kim, of our our volunteer manager. She sat at our desk and we had so many products. We just poured them.
Wow.
We had too many for our island. So we will be able to meet the need. But we decided we want to continue this. We don't want to be a one-time fix. When folks call us and they want access to our resources, we can also offer them some of the essential things that they need, like hygiene. I don't want to go to school if I don't have it, and we know our students don't.
Exactly, exactly. Now, on November 2nd, I understand you're having a fundraiser, Mahjong for a Mission?
Mahjong for a Mission.
Share more of that after this.
So, I'll tell you how it happened. You know, Memphis is a a community, a melting pot.
Right.
But we don't know if we're siloed. So our wonderful, wonderful Suzanne, our donor relations manager, she said, Nikki, let's do a Mahjong tournament. I was like, I don't know how to play Mahjong. What do you want me to do? And she's like, well, there's a group of women. A lot of people love it. I said, well, you have to introduce it. I said, but we don't want to just introduce it to our staff. Let's bring in our community partners. Let's bring in the folks who are seasoned and who play it. And let's let folks see that we're united in more ways than we're separated. So folks bought a table. They're bringing their friends. They're bringing their A game.
Fun.
Oh, I'm so excited. I started learning what a crack and a wham and a bam. And
I
was
don't know that. I got to learn all that.
So if you're ready, we can teach you. But I learned so much yesterday. But what I really learned is that as a community, we come together to support each other and good missions and good causes that you're seeing the impact. So we just want to make sure that we're staying on top of giving people opportunities, not just to say give, but let's come and enjoy and learn about who each other are and how we can be really that community that we seek to be.
Right. And if someone wants to take advantage of your services or help or anything, how should they contact you? What should they do?
They can go to www.astepaheadfoundation.org. They can go to our social media handles, A Step Ahead Foundation.
Okay.
Or if you see me or one of our team out at one of the community events or anywhere, say hey.
Okay.
Say hey. But learn who we are, what we do, and then see how you want to contribute. If it's a donation, I want people to know we don't get any government funding.
Okay.
Every dime that we get comes from generous folks in this community who believe in the work that we do. So, Kim, I've never met a stranger.
I can tell.
I have never met a stranger, but you meet so many people, they don't know this work. They don't know how passionate we are, and they don't know how needed it is unless we tell them. So I want us to be able to tell this story to as many people with the impact, not just with dollar amount. They may have the time and the resources. However you want to serve, we want to give you an opportunity to plant those seeds here.
Well, we are honored to have the opportunity to let people know about your organization here for these few minutes today and the small audience that we may have. But thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate it, and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Making this a better Memphis.
Thank you.
All right.